All right, so welcome into Talk and Go Home, folks. My name's Nick Wilson, David Murphree, Clint Thompson, and we're joined today on this episode by a really good friend of ours, Shea Monroe. Shea, welcome into the show. You've listened to it before.
Yeah, absolutely.
At least once.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, if it were up to me, we wouldn't have had you on, but
yeah, that's
I kind of got strong-armed into it, so here we are. If we cut this show about 50 minutes short, you know why. So let's get into it. We have known each other for a while, you and I specifically, but we can consistently find ourselves talking about one thing outside of work.
Yeah.
Which we do talk about work a lot,
yeah.
but outside of work, we do talk about one thing quite often.
Yeah.
Clint has no idea what we're about to talk about. I only told David like 2 hours ago.
Cinderella, Wenger, and the Bullet Boys. Best show ever been. Talking about concerts, right?
No.
Hold
Movies.
on.
Movies.
Aaron,
Okay.
Aaron, is everything unmuted? Yeah. Okay.
Are you unmuted?
Aaron,
He said probably not.
yeah. Aaron, I'm just glad you're over there doing your job. Because let me tell y'all something. To everybody that's listening, he was just, raked over the coals before this show.
So
you
listen.
Very.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no. You're not talking about on the episode. You're talking about before we started.
Before we started.
Who raked him over the coals?
I don't know. Maybe a certain host.
Yeah, Clint. Come on, man.
Not me.
Look, it's a shtick. Like you'll see it in one of these episodes. You'll actually see it in the season finale. Aaron comes on and starts talking, and all three of us lay into him on air on the podcast.
Jeez, Murphree.
Which, by the way, this is like episode 8, so like we recorded these all out of order, mainly because we had a special guest for the season finale. So stay tuned for that one.
Yeah, you'll see that on the season finale.
Aaron gets his just.
He
desserts.
couldn't believe. Well, no, it wasn't you. Somebody couldn't believe we actually got it. It was James. James couldn't believe we actually got this.
I told my wife about it, and she was pretty floored about it.
Oh, really? Is
yeah,
she gonna listen?
Yes, because obviously the person that y'all are referring to is a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, for us anyway.
Yeah. Well, he's a pretty big deal. It's a he. So.
Yeah,
Spoiler.
maybe not for our listeners in Germany.
Yeah,
but
here in the great state of Alabama, this is a pretty big deal.
We do have a significant amount of listeners in Germany for some reason. It's our second.
It's because you keep saying Germany, and it's probably a tagline by now. They say, "Search German podcast." Oh, talk or go home.
Okay, well, we're a huge podcast in Great Britain, the United Kingdom, England, Scotland, Ireland, Northern Ireland, and Wales. So, and Mexico and Canada.
That at all.
Yeah.
But no, I sent them a text the other day. We're going to get to our point here in a second, but I sent them a text the other day, and it was a breakdown of our most listened to countries. And, we've got a lot of countries. We've got listeners a little bit everywhere, but obviously our big country is the United States, and 94% of our audience is from the United States. Makes sense.
Where's the next biggest?
Germany.
5% or 6?
3% of our audience is from Germany. Then the other 3% is from a multitude of other countries.
I was about to say, did they put them in categories like other?
No, it tells you specifically.
Yeah.
It's like 1% or less than 1%, but it tells you, and then it breaks it down by what province. So in Germany, our number one province is
Hesse.
Hessians.
And the Rhineland was in there, too.
The Rhine. Yeah, he made note of the Rhineland. You didn't comment on my patent comment.
What should I have said?
Ha ha.
Oh, I thought you.
I don't know how to do that.
I thought you were gonna respond with the pen, with a pen joke.
Okay, I guess. Okay, I will after we leave.
Okay. All right, Azo. There it is. By the way, I had somebody that we work with. Hey, Aaron, check your phone. Your mom just texted me.
Hold on, let me check.
If everybody doesn't know this by now, Aaron is a child. He is a student at our school.
Aaron is an intern.
Let me check. Hey, Aaron, she texts me too, for a completely different reason.
I hate
Whoa. All right, so.
I like how she texts me when I'm working. She knows that I'm.
Does she know what you're doing right now?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
She's just asking him what he wants for supper.
Yeah.
Probably. So.
It's good, Mom.
We're going to talk about
Great, Mom.
a little bit of everything today,
Well,
whatever comes up.
Let's do it.
So, Shea, you're from Georgia.
Yep.
Right? Where'd you grow up? Snellville?
Loganville.
Yep,
Right
next to Snellville.
Yes, right next to Snellville.
Loganville. I don't even know.
Loganville.
We've known each other for a while, but I don't know where you're from. Sorry, I just spit on it.
ends with a Ville.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
all. It's all right there together.
Right.
It's like suburban Metro Atlanta.
Yes, it is. Yes.
To the northeast.
Yes. So it's Gwinnett County.
You're not from here, is what I'm.
No,
getting at.
no, I'm not. I'm not. I married an Alabama girl. That's how I ended up over here.
But you grew up watching, like, your thing other than sports was watching movies.
Movies.
That's
yes.
what you did.
Yes, like
VHS tapes.
Yes,
one after another.
yeah, and it was weird how I got into movies because my parents divorced when I was about 7 years old, and my mom remarried, and my stepdad, who's a great guy, when he moved in, he was from Florida, and he moved to Georgia, and he moved in with us, and he had this, I'm talking about huge cardboard boxes of VHS tapes. And like, you're 7 years old, you're not supposed to be watching The Godfather Part 2. But I mean, those are the VHS tapes that he had.
Did you really?
Yes. Red Skelton was in that, and I was like, what is this? You're talking about black and white. I mean,
I grew up on that man's VHS tapes.
I'm telling you, man, it was just like
That's scary. I never
knew
knew that.
It opened my mind to a whole nother thing that was going on. So I mean, obviously, when you're 7, you're not supposed. The Godfather Part 2 is pretty extreme.
Yeah, that's
but I
intense.
mean, thankfully, both of
Skelton,
them.
the comedian. You Skelton.
Yes.
The comedian.
Yeah, that's a Red Skeleton.
Okay.
My bad.
Yeah, Red Skelton. I grew up watching the faces that he would make and how animated he would get, especially with that weird hat that he always wore.
Mm-hmm.
That's I don't know. That underpins my, which is weird because we have two different senses of humor, kind
Yes,
of. But that is one of the huge underpinnings for my comedy taste, I guess. So that's weird. I never knew that. I never knew that you were a big Red Skelton
Well, I mean,
guy.
I watched it.
Yeah.
It's not like I'd go around quoting it every day, but it was pretty cool, man. Like,
It started you on your path because you like comedy
yes, I love comedy.
more than any other genre.
Comedy.
Yes.
Comedy.
Yes, more than any other genre. I'd say that's safe.
Comedy is our #1 episode right now,
As of recording.
as of recording this.
I have a feeling that David goes home and just listens to that the next
Exit Only?
Yeah, exit only,
Well, actually,
over and over and over.
Exit Only is now our #3 episode.
Ooh,
Beer Cans on a School Bus is #2.
That's a good episode.
that is a good
Have you
episode.
listened
Yes,
to
I
Beer
have.
Cans on a
Yes.
School Bus? That's right, because you asked him about.
Yes.
Yeah.
About stuff we can't talk
What's
about
your
right now.
opinion on that?
On beer cans on a school bus?
Exit Only and comedy.
I don't know. I hadn't thought about it, really.
But you told me the other day you were going to send Exit Only to anybody you could to make sure the listens got boosted.
I didn't do it. I didn't send it. I mean, if I listen to it again, it's not going to count as another download.
I think it does.
I think it does.
Well, I'll go home and listen to it tonight. Then.
Hey, by the way, I met some folks at a restaurant over the weekend. We'll get back to you here in a second. I met some folks over the weekend.
Point that finger in my face.
And they were very complimentary of the podcast. And one thing they mentioned was, hey, David Murphree may be the funniest human alive.
I'd say that's accurate.
Yeah. They were a huge fan. And you taught them. So shout out to Ryan Burns and Alex Hollingsworth.
Yeah, they're good. I miss them.
Do you,
They're
though?
good students, yeah. I miss that bunch.
That was my bunch. I graduated with them.
Okay.
Did you?
I didn't realize that.
Do you remember? do you remember me?
I didn't know y'all in the same class.
Remember.
Yeah, I remember.
You do remember me?
Well, Burns, he's in that picture of that class. I just had 7 students in.
Yes.
I remember him.
Yeah.
You only had 7 students in
Yeah,
a class?
in a class, yeah.
I hear you.
The good old days.
That's a great
Yeah.
class. Yeah. All right, so yeah,
Well,
comedy.
I want to say before I met Shay, like I thought I was a pretty big movie buff, and then
Yeah.
I met Shay, and Shay's like quoting stuff. I'm like, "What is that from?" And he says, "Oh, it's like from Ace Ventura." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't remember that."
It's recall, man.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
It's like I can recall the strangest things, and I've seen interviews done about this, and I don't know, like this interview made the most sense to me. Okay, so they're interviewing Bobby Petrino, the football coach, and he's got a photographic memory, and he put it in terms of this: if it's important to you, you'll remember it. So like, I don't know why, but that's important to me because I think and I don't know if movies was like a coping mechanism for me. My parents being divorced,
Sure.
and I don't know. It just like I was compartmentalizing things as a young kid, so movies kind of
word.
became an outlet. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You have to have degrees to coach to teach school.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I did not know that.
yeah.
Yeah, they just let me walk on it.
Yeah,
one
you were
day.
doing that Saturday Night Live stuff earlier, and that was amazing. how you could do that.
Yeah, who are you? Oh, Harry Carey. He was doing the Harry
Yeah.
Carey, Will Ferrell
Yeah.
skit. By the way, did you see over the weekend Will Ferrell shot around with Klay Thompson at the Warriors game in his Jackie Moon
Did he really?
character? He
That
was
doesn't
out there as
surprise me.
Jackie Moon.
Will
warming
Ferrell's
up.
done so many funny things that like
He was shooting something because there were a ton of cameras
Yeah,
there.
did y'all see when he was doing promotional for Eastbound and Down, and he did a tour as a minor league baseball player. So like these minor league
I
teams
saw that, yeah.
came in and agreed to like let him be a coach or a player. Like he actually pitched in a minor league game.
Right. He was a player, and they would trade him like to the next
Right,
team, and they
exactly.
trade him to another
And that
team
was
down
pretty-
the road.
yeah.
So
And
he
that's
played for like
hilarious.
8 teams in one day.
Look,
Like it was crazy.
One of the funniest Will Ferrell things is like if you watch the ESPYs, when Justin Timberlake was hosting and Tiger Woods won the male athlete and he wasn't there to accept the award, like Will Ferrell just went up there and accepted the award as Tiger Woods. If you have not seen that,
It's great.
It's watch YouTube and just put in Will Ferrell ESPYs. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Well, didn't Jim Carrey do something like that one time? Like he was dressed really funny. Like nobody really knew it was Jim Carrey until it just kind of come out.
Was
But,
it
like,
when he was dressed as
a
Andy
stoner.
Kaufman?
And Tony Clifton.
Yeah, Tony Clifton.
Tony Clifton.
Tony Clifton.
Yeah.
when he just woke up and just walked up and says, "I'm going to take this award," and just
I don't-
walked
Well,
off.
here's the thing about that. He really went full method with that Andy
Yeah.
Kaufman, Tony Clifton movie. What
Yeah.
was it called?
Man on the Moon.
Man on the
Man on the
Moon.
Moon. And I haven't seen the movie,
great
but I've
song.
seen
It's
the,
a great movie.
I've seen the documentary about
Yeah.
Man on the Moon, and it was scary how seriously he took it. Because
These-
there's a ton of behind the scenes footage of him staying in character, just verbally abusing people on set.
The movie itself is really interesting, but it's really sad.
Because he was obsessed with Andy Kaufman.
Yeah, well, I mean, Andy Kaufman was, he was SNL
Yeah.
back in the '70s, and then spoiler alert, he ends up passing away from a rare form of lung cancer. Like Andy Kaufman never smoked, and he was actually like big into healing, and that sort of thing, and but it's a pretty tragic story, but man, it was pretty awesome.
So one of the things in that movie is I guess a run-in with Jerry the King Lawler.
Yes.
So in professional wrestling, you have works and shoots. So a work is something's fake. We're just making
Right.
it work, and a shoot is real.
Yeah.
Was that rivalry a work or a shoot?
No, it was all right. So they made it look like it was a shoot, but it was really a work.
Right.
I mean, they played it so good.
In the public eye,
Yes, in the
too.
public eye, because Andy Kaufman had this thing where he'd go around and he'd wrestle women. Mm-hmm. That was his thing. It was part of like a chauvinistic,
Right.
like, oh, men are so superior than women. Well, he'd go out and like pick a random woman out of the crowd and wrestle her, and he'd win every time. Well, they went to Memphis, Tennessee, which is where Jerry Lawler's from, and they do this bit where Jerry Lawler comes up and just smacks the crap out of him. I'm talking about like literally open hand across. I don't care. Listen, people can say what they want to about professional wrestling. Me and my wife have this argument all the time. And this is the kind of stuff me and my wife argue about, just so you know. Okay? All right?
I'm engaged.
You can sit here and tell me with every ounce in your body that professional wrestling is fake. Okay, let me hit you in the head with a steel chair and see how fake that is. Okay,
It
it's
hurts.
choreovraphed. Sure.
And it's scripted, yeah,
Yes, yeah.
yeah.
But, like,
It ain't fake.
listen, there's nothing fake about, Mick Foley getting thrown through a steel cage,
Mick Foley.
20 feet in the air onto thumbtacks.
King of the Ring '98,
Hey,
boys.
now that happened on Letterman's show, the Lawler.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, all right,
And,
no,
and Letterman, I think he started thinking it was really
yeah.
going
was it
on.
Letterman or was it?
It was Letterman.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right, so-
Letterman, Dave Letterman
all right.
on the show.
He's a huge David Letterman
So
fan.
it
He would
was.
know.
So it was like, and actually the movie touches on this. This is
Mm-hmm.
a big part of the movie, is that, and like, they bring him in the office and it shows it from a first point of like, Danny DeVito's his manager.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's showing Danny DeVito talking to him, and he's talking, but he's really talking to both of them. Yeah. And then it shows Jerry the King, and he was like, "Well, we were just having fun." But that was Andy Kaufman. Like Andy Kaufman would get on stage, doing stand-up comedy, and he would lip sync the Mighty Mouse theme song for an hour.
Yeah.
And the crowd would think it was funny for a while, and then they just fizzle out. But he didn't care because he thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Like, he was like, I don't care about what y'all think, but I think this is hilarious.
Yeah.
And that was pretty good.
Yeah, I think it got out of control on the show. Kind of went further than what it was supposed
Right,
to go.
exactly.
And I think
Exactly.
they were afraid of getting in trouble on the,
Right.
on the,
Yeah,
with
I
the
mean,
network or
yeah,
something.
it was, yeah, exactly. That's what it was.
and that's what you call selling.
Yes,
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
sold it, buddy.
when the producers don't even know,
Right.
like, okay, this might be real.
Right.
Yeah. But how do you pull something like that back?
Yeah.
And the thing about Jim Carrey is, I think, man, that guy, he's our Andy Kaufman. He's a lot like that. Where he'll like, if you watch interviews with Jim Carrey, he gets real like meta, philosophical, and starts talking in phrase that you're just kind of like, okay, obviously he understands what he's talking about, but I don't.
You can
and
say the
nobody
same
else
thing about
can.
football coaches, though.
But football coaches, I would argue, have to do that. They don't choose to talk like that. If they could, football coaches would just tell you straight up, like they could. I honestly don't think Jim Carrey has the capability to fully explain to you what's going on in his mind. Right. Simply,
That's called being crazy.
He is.
Okay, just throwing it out there.
But is
Creative,
he a genius?
Creative genius.
Is Jim
Crazy
Carrey a genius?
I'll tell you this. I'll ask you something. Aaron, do you know who Jim Carrey is?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh wow.
All right.
Thank you.
So let me tell you this. All right. So that is at least the earliest memories I have of Jim Carrey are like obviously In Living Color.
In Living Color.
Yeah.
That's my earliest memory. of
Fire
Jim
Marshal
Carrey.
Bill Brady.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was, yes. He had this one character, and I can't say it because I don't want to offend anybody, but he was a.
It was the '90s. It was a different
Yes,
time.
it was, but like he had this one character, and like y'all gotta understand, like In Living Color had some really good talent on it.
Oh yeah.
Okay, it had like David Allen Greer.
Yeah.
It had the Wayans brothers. Keenan Ivory was the big one, I believe, on the show.
It was.
I think
back
he started the show. or
back
something.
then.
Damon
it
Wayans
was
might have-
kind of perceived as like an SNL
yeah,
off-brand.
because
Right.
Damon Wayans was Homie the Clown. And he had
I
this
forgot about
stick.
Homie the
He had
Clown.
this stick.
How do
and
you
like,
forget about
and
Homie
he-
the Clown?
Homie, don't play that. And he hit somebody with it. It was hilarious. And Damon Wayans, shout out to you, Major Payne, Major Buford, Winifred Payne.
And dude, I made a Major Payne joke the other day
Oh
because
my
I have
gosh.
Ivan Payne in class.
Yes.
Well, I should have said his name. I just said his name in class. Anyway, we'll edit that out. Probably not. I said it.
Oh, we can
I
edit
made
on the show?
No.
Okay.
I made a Major Payne joke. Please don't make any more work for
Yeah,
Aaron.
I won't.
But I made
It doesn't
a
matter. You're going to recheck him anyway.
Yeah,
You
anyway.
micromanager.
yeah, I know. I made a Major. No, I trust Aaron. I made a
Awkward silence.
I made a Major Payne joke, and first off, I made sure I'm like, you know what I'm talking about, right? And he said, the kid's like, yeah, I get it. And then I looked out into the crowd, into the audience, my other students, and they were all like,
The crowd,
just
the
like
audience.
just blank,
Yeah.
just. Oh, did you hear that? Just blank stares,
Right.
Like nobody knew.
So my dad, interesting Major Payne tidbit because we're just flowing along here. All right, my dad coached youth football. Okay, he didn't coach. He coached me 2 years of youth football. Okay, but like as I got older and I moved up in the age group, my dad stayed down. Okay, and he coached these younger kids. Okay, so my dad coached this team, and one of the kids on the team's moms. My dad was he was a big fundamentals guy. Okay, but like at the end of every practice, he'd make the kids run gassers. Okay, so like evidently like it could get to the point where like he's running a lot.
Right.
They're running a lot. Okay, so like one of his kids' moms bought him the Major Payne VHS and gave it to him. They said, "Coach, this is who you remind us of." And it was, my dad reminds you of Major Payne? Like, and like a 12-year-old kid, you're like, oh, that's funny. But then you're like, yeah, he's nothing like that.
Yeah.
No.
Like, he's nothing like Damon Wayans at all.
Shout out to you, Rob,
Yeah, thanks, Dad. I love
if
you.
you listen to
Yeah.
this.
So real quick before we move off of this, is there anything worse in the world when you make a movie reference and nobody gets it?
Absolutely,
It's like it-
horrible.
Oh, I love it.
Do
I
you?
love
Horrible.
Yes, I love it. I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome because it's like that little,
Because you're doing an Andy. You're
right.
doing it for
It's kinda
yourself,
like,
not for them.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
So it's kind of like Murphree when Murphree makes a joke or a reference, because Coach Murphy's so sarcastic that if you don't understand him,
Yeah, if you
Like-
don't get him,
Yeah,
Even
you
his smirk right now is like,
yeah,
Exactly,
like,
yeah.
he'll
that's
tell you,
me.
like I'm not kidding, and I never told you this. For a solid 2 years, I didn't know how to take you.
Well, it was probably after I beat the bathroom door in that day, and you came out in the teacher's
Could've
lounge.
been, yeah.
That probably
do you
could've been
remember
it.
that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Please,
Yeah.
somebody tell
So
us.
look, speaking of bathroom, I have a bathroom incident with him today. So I go in there to try to use the
What is this
restroom,
podcast?
and
Stalker
I
going
I touched the doorknob, and I saw him out of my peripheral previously, like 30 seconds earlier and then didn't see him when I turned around for my conversation. So in my mind, I'm going, okay, he's probably in the bathroom. But I'm going to try anyway. So I go in, pull on the handle. It's locked. And then immediately, as soon as I let go of the handle after I just jiggled it, immediately, without hesitation, he goes, what did you say?
Come in.
Come in! But he yells it, come in! And then he opens the door. And then he says, come in! Come on in! Come on in! And the door's open. And I'm like running away. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good.
Would you afraid he was have his pants down or something?
It was hilarious.
Well, Nick jiggled one thing and David was jiggling another.
Hey, let's move on from this.
Hey, when I was beating on the door that day, I didn't know that was you in there. It could have been.
Aaron's dead.
It could
I
have
didn't
been
know it
anybody.
was you. I could have been the principal in there. I didn't know who was in there.
What'd you say? Food today tried to make a joke about what was it? What's the cheapest meat? I'm not gonna say the punchline because it's inappropriate.
Yeah.
But
Coming from food, yes. I can imagine.
Fu came up and told me. He said, he told me, you didn't even hesitate. You just kept walking and said, yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. And you just like kept walking. Like you didn't even because I think you knew the punchline and you're like, it's gonna be inappropriate. I don't want to do this in the middle of the hallway. But he said you just kept walking and it was hilarious.
I don't know
You're
what
who the three of us want to be
No,
like you.
absolutely.
We
I don't know
want
what
to be
you're
as
talking about.
funny as
Yes.
you are, but we'll never be as funny
Never.
as you are, especially Clint. But
Hey, ask Aaron. I'm pretty daggum.
Yeah.
I think you're pretty funny.
It is
Thank
pretty
you.
funny. I
yeah,
ain't
well,
lie.
you know,
for different. I'm more of a physical comedy.
you do have a lot of physical comedy.
Yeah.
And I talked to
Usually I'm naked whenever it happens, or shirtless at least.
Well, I think if you go back to that Sweat Hogs episode,
Yeah.
we pretty much with Justin and
Oh, that was a good
and
episode.
Jody,
That was
we
a
pretty
really
much-
good episode.
we clarify that you do seek a lot of not attention for yourself, but for the group. Like you want to make it
Yeah.
as enjoyable for the group as possible. And if
Well-
you can be physically funny, that's your go-to.
Well, there's no better, explanation of that is than when we went to the Birmingham Squadrons game after the.
and you-
the
that was
basketball.
shortly after that
Yes,
podcast.
It
was
was.
it not? Yeah,
it
Yeah,
was.
Yeah.
And
video of
anyway,
that somewhere.
Yes.
there is a video.
And shocker, Clint has no shirt on.
yeah,
Shocker.
it happened.
Well, he did.
I
But
did.
then
Yeah,
he
yeah,
ended
I took
it
it
without
off.
it on.
Yeah, it's a shocker.
Yeah.
Shocker.
Yeah, the Birmingham Squadron. But anyway, shout out to you, not a sponsor. So, speaking of which, if you'd like to be a sponsor, you can contact us, talkorgohome@gmail.com.
I don't know where these camera angles are, but I feel like the Diet Mountain Dew bottle is getting a ton.
Oh, man. We should have put tape over it. Over the logo.
Mountain Dew.
I think
not
it's
a
been-
sponsor.
Not a
I
sponsor.
think it's been turned a
Not
little
sponsored.
bit. You can tell what it is.
Yeah,
but
yeah I don't know.
it's been
The angle's over there. But so we've talked about Jim Carrey, which is kind of like, we're talking around this subject, but obviously movies, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to go ahead and ask you, what are your favorite movies? Just
Man,
go ahead
like,
and
you
just
can't-
start.
Dude, listen, like
That's a
that
hard
is that is
subject.
such a broad spectrum. Okay, like I don't know why. Actually, I know why. I love the movie Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Okay, all right, and like it's another one of those. We were talking about things that just make us laugh. Okay, there is a scene in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Okay, all right, when obviously Ferris Bueller is faking sick for the 9th time that semester. Okay.
The fact that he knew the exact number, yeah.
All right, 9 times. Okay. All right. And he's convinced his best friend, Cameron, played by Alan Ruck. Okay. Alan Ruck, shout out to you because I love this scene you're in. Okay. To make a phony phone call, as they put it, not a prank call, phony phone call to Edward Rooney, the principal. Okay. It's played by Jeffrey Jones. Okay. All right. So he impersonates Ferris Bueller's girlfriend's dad, George Peterson. Okay. Now listen,
I know
y'all.
exactly what scene you're
This scene is hilarious, and I don't know why I think it's so funny. I think it's the voice, but like it shows it. It shows him making the prank phone call, but like I think it's the way he's twisting his face to make this phone call.
Rooney, I don't have all day to buy. Could you someone to make this short and sweet? I want my daughter in front of the school in 10 minutes by herself.
Okay, and let me tell you something. He says a few other choice things that I cannot repeat on there.
Pardon my French, but you're a... Oh.
We didn't edit that.
Yeah.
He did it himself.
Yeah, he did.
I
Good
did.
job.
Okay. But like, I love that movie for that scene. Now, like, there's some really other good scenes in that movie. Like, I love the parade scene when he's
With the
singing.
car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, when he's singing "Twist and Shout."
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
That's a good scene. that's a good movie. Golly, I love Shawshank Redemption. I know that sounds like, oh, that's such a cliche thing to say.
Okay,
One of
let's
the best
dive.
movies
I
ever.
want to dive deeper into what you said there about it being
Unforgiven.
it being a cliche thing. The
Nice.
Shawshank Redemption, when Frank Darabont, like when they were making the movie, and Frank Darabont, the director, they were getting ready to release the movie. It didn't like hit Hollywood like it didn't hit with the reputation that it now has.
Right.
And I think more so just in America than in Hollywood, but it wasn't this blockbuster instant classic movie, but it has become that over the years. And a lot of people want to argue because it's on cable television all the time. Why is it your favorite or one of your favorite movies?
Well, I think it just.
What about the movie itself?
Okay, I think it just explores, such a long friendship that's developed in a place where, really friendship is not.
You don't find very
right,
often.
exactly. Okay, so it's taken place over a period of, I think it's 19 years, over in a prison. Okay, in the early 1900s. Okay, it's like 1930s.
yeah.
Okay, 1940s.
Early 20th century.
Exactly. There you go. Thank you. Okay, but I think it explores that friendship. But the plot is really good. Okay, in my opinion, the plot's really good. It's about.
Well, what did you say earlier today?
I was a plot hoe. I was a plot hoe.
Yeah, you didn't say that
I
word.
didn't.
You said
I
another
didn't.
word,
Yeah,
but yeah.
yeah. Okay, so I'm a sucker for a good plot.
Yeah.
Okay, but and it's a thing where, the acting's incredible. Tim Robbins does a great job. Morgan Freeman, I mean, obviously is
A
solid.
legend.
Yes, but like the supporting cast.
The warden.
Yes, the warden is really good.
I can't remember his name.
Hadley. Oh golly, the Clancy Brown is the sadistic prison guard. Okay, golly, I'm just
Mr. Krabs.
yes.
Yeah, I mean he plays
Is he
Mr.
really?
Krabs.
I don't watch.
Does he not
Is
play
that SpongeBob?
right, Aaron? Does he not? Does Clancy
Yeah,
Brown not play Mr. Krabs?
You know what I know Clancy Brown from? Really random. Pet Cemetery 2.
They made a second one.
Yeah, I didn't know they made a second one.
Yeah, it's not great.
It's not great.
Edward Furlong's in it. Terminator 2. What's up? Terminator 2 is another great
What's
movie.
up? It is better than the
Okay,
original.
But Shawshank, I agree with that. Dang,
Did you hear that, Aaron?
Mike killing
Aaron,
over
okay.
here. But Shawshank, I don't know. I think it hits a lot of emotions for, I mean, for me at least. I like it.
Well, and
I like it a lot.
Clint and I like it a lot. Clint and I talked about kind of the same theme being so impactful in another movie that we reviewed on Ham and Spam's Retro Review, that podcast they brought me in to talk about, which was in Spiderman No Way Home.
Right.
And in that episode of the podcast, we discussed the friendship between Tom Holland's Spider-Man and Zendaya's character and that Ned character, it being so strong.
You forgot his name. The
It's,
actor's name.
yeah, I can't remember his name. I mean, I love the actor.
Hold on, time out. You shared that episode on your personal Facebook. Is that not correct?
Did I?
I believe
I don't
you did.
know. I can't remember.
You.
Oh, yeah.
What's the angry face for?
Because he didn't get to come on.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Well,
I can't believe you had a podcast about movies and you didn't invite me.
Well, he thinks he's a better movie buff than I am.
that's
I didn't say that. I just think I have better taste in movies than you do.
That's exact. You just said it.
Well, here's
You're
the thing.
I'm
We've
a better
just
movie guy
started
than you.
doing more movies as of this season, just to kind of broaden our spectrum for more listeners, because not everybody plays video
Now,
games.
my wife.
So I will keep that in mind.
Well, I appreciate
Yeah.
that, Clint. Thank you for being considerate of my feelings. But I'll tell you this: my wife will argue with anybody.
Yeah.
All right, because let
As
me tell
women do.
let me tell you how things roll in my house. Okay, first off, I have a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old. Okay,
Shout out to you, Allison.
yeah, absolutely.
His
Allison's
wife, not his child.
Yeah, Allison's raising 3 kids. Okay, including me. Okay. We have a little girl, Adeline. She's 7. Briggs is 4. Okay, so on the nights I get home early, because coaching takes up a lot of time. Yeah. So my children are, Netflix is a good thing, but it's also one of those things where I only have so many TVs in my house. Okay, so my daughter's watching one thing on Netflix. My son's watching a completely different thing on Netflix. And nobody can ever come to an agreement
Nope.
what they want to watch. So my TV watching gets done at nighttime. okay, after they go to bed. All right, so, like, me and my wife have a few shows we watch together, and if it's one of them's not on or we don't have it DVR'd, then I turn on what I want to watch. For instance, I watched, and, like, this is one of those movies, and I think Murph will agree with me on this, okay? This is one of these movies that everybody's seen, and, like, the majority it's a split. Like, half of the people love it, half the people hate it. Roadhouse.
Love it.
I love that.
I have
movie.
DVR'd
Love that
Roadhouse.
Never seen it.
That's a lie.
What?
You've never seen
Wait a
Roadhouse?
minute.
Y'all threw me for a loop a while ago. I thought you still talking about Ferris Buellers Day Off, but you started talking about Shawshank Redemption.
Well, I was
Yeah.
talking about my favorite movies, and we kind of switched.
I've never seen Roadhouse.
Are you
serious?
Yeah, I never seen it.
Wow.
How?
How have you never seen Roadhouse?
It's on. I mean to watch it after I watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I'm gonna watch Roadhouse.
So you've got a list.
So, all right.
I know what it's about, but
So I watched Roadhouse. Okay.
Great movie.
Yes, but my wife will argue with you. She's like, you watch the stupidest movies. And I was like, well, what's stupid about Roadhouse? I mean, honestly, let's think about this. It's got a good plot. Okay, it's different.
Yeah.
It's a different movie. Okay, there's action, there's violence, there's romance. Okay, there is a lot of things happening. There's a good guy and a bad guy. Okay,
One's missing a throat, by
that's
the way.
right. Yeah.
Let's do some analysis here,
Okay.
which is something I like to do. What would she consider a non-stupid?
That is a great question, Nick.
Because we need to understand her perspective to then understand why she thinks. Because you can't answer.
Right.
You can't answer with how you view the movie as to why it's not stupid. We
Right.
have to think from her perspective.
Okay.
So what does she like to watch?
All right, so you got to understand something about my wife, okay? If you talk about two completely different, we have some similarities, but you talk about completely different people.
Y'all
as
are
far
very
as-
different.
We are very different people. My wife is very smart. Okay?
I love
She's-
how he started with that.
She is she's
And she's
extreme.
pretty.
She is extreme. She is extremely intelligent.
Yeah.
Okay, seriously.
She's a pharmacist.
Yes, she's a pharmacist. Okay, and the way her sense of humor is not the same as my sense of humor. Okay, because she's very reserved.
Yeah.
And she's not the kind of person that's just going to go up to you and talk to you. And, I tell her sometimes, that comes off as rude.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, I just don't feel the need to talk to everybody like you do.
Yeah.
And that's fair. It's just not her personality trait. But I think the reason she thinks it's stupid is because to her, it's just a guy who beats up people in a bar.
Which is awesome, but keep going.
All right. And for her, it's not like
Tom Lamb.
the plot.
Hey, you think you think
What
she
is the movie with the orangutan and the truck driver?
BJ and the Bear is a TV
Yeah,
show.
It's a TV show.
It's a TV show. And Clint Eastwood had him,
Yeah, Clint Eastwood had
whatever that is.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, Tom.
Hey, you think
Was
she
that
could
the-
get me some Tamsulosin? That stuff's expensive.
What do you do with
Let's
Tamsulosin?
go ahead.
No, but
Roadhouse.
it's a
Cody Gaither also listens
It's
to this,
just-
and
it's
he's a
an-
pharmacist. He'll
it's-
know what you're talking
it's an
about.
acquired taste.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sure.
What's one of her
But it's
favorite
an era
movies to
thing,
watch?
too.
Dude, I couldn't tell you.
Wow, you're a
honestly-
good husband.
Well, it's the thing where she doesn't watch a lot of movies.
Okay,
Okay,
TV
She'd
shows.
rather watch TV shows. She likes
Okay.
Grey's Anatomy,
What-
Chicago Fire. We both like them. You need to watch The Rookie. That's a really good show. With Nathan Fillion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good show. We like Castle before it went off. It was good.
Castle. I never seen that.
Castle
I tell you,
is
I tell you what my wife has watched the most of is probably Rush Hour and 51st Dates. Is that the name of that?
Yeah.
That's probably two I remember.
51st Dates is a good movie. I like that one.
Rush
Hour's
Hour's
hilarious.
Rush Hour is
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Chris Tucker's a comedy genius.
I don't
He's
want
in
to watch it
But he has
anymore.
tax issues.
He's
What?
in
I don't want to watch it anymore.
You've
Watch
seen it a
enough.
million
Rush
times.
Hour
You've
and
told me.
51st Dates.
Yeah.
I don't see it.
So she's very much a network TV person.
Right. I can think that's safe to say.
So she watches what I would consider safe entertainment.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
It's not going to be where you're going to dive into some deep thematic
Right,
conflict, and you're going to have it's going to have multiple
it's
layers.
made for the
and-
masses.
Now, like,
Yeah.
her and I have gone to the movies before, and we have both enjoyed the movie we've saw. It's not like we can't agree on anything.
She's not going to watch The Tree of Life and go, "That was a profound experience I just had."
Right.
I think that's the name of that movie with what's the blonde-headed guy's name? He was
Eminem.
He was in Burn After Reading. He's pretty famous. Oh my god.
Tom Cruise.
No. Brad Pitt. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, Brad Pitt, pretty famous.
Pretty famous.
Have you seen Tree of Life?
No,
I had to watch it in
I have
a
not.
in a film class, and it freaked me out. It was very out there.
Well, I mean, it's like, I like like horror's not my favorite genre,
Yeah.
but I will dabble and watch some horror movies. Allison's just not gonna watch a horror movie.
She's out.
See, I don't.
Yeah.
I'm the same. I'm like you. I don't like horror.
Yeah.
But I will.
I'm
Dabble.
intrigued by horror.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll
love.
dabble in it.
Oh, we went and saw Halloween Kills together. Oh, she did go see
Yeah.
that with me.
What'd you think about that?
She I looked over it a couple of times and saw her kind of wincing, like. And look, that movie, if you have not seen
brutal.
Halloween Kills, I mean, like, the title fits the movie perfectly.
Yeah.
Because he kills freaking everybody.
In very gruesome ways.
Yes, it's not like, I'm going to cut you one time. I mean, he
Cheat off
he
the
sticks
paper.
He's
a
right
he
down
sticks
his-
a light bulb through somebody's neck.
A fluorescent,
Yeah,
long
fluorescent,
light bulb
yes.
tube that he.
Through their neck. Yes.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, it's
graphic.
pretty- And then I think he twists. I think he tries to,
By the way, I don't know why I just thought of this. No relation to what we're talking about, but Mark Sanders and Matthew Sanders, know you're listening. Shout out to you guys. Mark's probably listening
Mark's
in
a
the
really
car
good
with his
dude.
kids right now because he told me that he listens.
As Coach Monroe
this.
just goes through, a couple of the
Yeah.
kills. in
Yeah,
Halloween
sorry, I
Kills.
didn't know that. If I'd have known we had G years, I wouldn't have said it.
No, you're good. Did you cut that?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
All right, it's bothering me.
I was gonna make a comment about it at the
You
end of the
should.
episode
Oh,
where I
my
was
bad.
gonna
Just go ahead and
I was,
get it out.
I was gonna say you've adjusted to Alabama pretty well.
I have.
That was gonna be my comment.
have.
But
No, if it was cut all the way up to here, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but no, he wanted to keep the bulldog
I
Yeah,
see that.
exactly.
and the logo
I
of
see
that.
that.
company over there on it. Who
Not
we're
a
not going to
sponsor.
name because they're not a sponsor. But I know the owner, Trent. If you want to, you can. So, okay, I'm gonna throw something out there that I have really enjoyed multiple times. It's actually been a recommendation on this podcast. He thinks it's going to be something, and we're not going to get to that yet. But I've actually watched it 3 times now, all the way through. And the last 2 times have been in the past 2 weeks. The first time was when it originally came out, but Chernobyl, the television show. And it's not a movie, but for me, if you want to know what my taste in film and TV shows and entertainment is like, go watch that because it's not perfect. And I'm not saying it's the best thing to ever hit screens ever, but I'm just saying for me, I feel
It's
like
very informative.
I feel like it captures what I enjoy.
Sure.
And that's drama that doesn't tell you it's drama, humor that doesn't tell you it's humor, and characters that are
Don't tell you it's characters. Sorry.
characters that are just so well acted and well written. It's like you're watching somebody have a conversation in front of you. You're not watching a movie.
Sure.
And
Authentic.
It's so well directed, so well written, so well acted. It's just and I really just appreciate that series. So Craig Mazin, Johan Rink, shout out to you guys. Y'all did an amazing job. Johan, he directed all 5 episodes, and Craig wrote and produced all 5 episodes. Craig actually worked on some Scream films. That was Craig Mazin's first foray into serious network, well, not network, but HBO drama. He worked on parody movies, and he was actually Ted Cruz's roommate at Princeton. Fun fact. Anyway, they hate each other. Anyway, but that's what I enjoy, is that. And I feel like you enjoy, and we're going to talk about what you two enjoy in a second, but Shay, I feel like you enjoy the distraction. How well can this distract me and take me out of reality? How can this make me laugh and induce those good, how can I get an endorphin rush out of this and me feel good? I feel like that's your driving force.
Just for the record, Nick Wilson is portraying me as a very depressed person.
No. I'm not saying that you're depressed because you want that. I'm just saying that you just like to be taken out. And I mean, you said it yourself. That
You can
might
be a
have
busy point.
subconsciously
Very
have
busy
something
person.
to do with when you fell in love with movies
Right.
at 7
Yeah,
and what you were going through with your life at that point.
I think you're right on.
Yeah.
I mean, I do I just and we haven't even touched on I'm the athletic director at the school. I'm the head football coach. I help coach softball. So
He's our boss.
There's
Yeah.
there's I'm not your boss. I don't sign your checks. Okay.
But you could tell us to not coach
Well,
anymore.
I
we would have to listen.
I could, but why would I do that? Okay.
For
I mean,
reasons that
We've got
Look,
he
like
and
I
I have
tell-
gotten into some pretty heated arguments.
look,
before.
like I've told you, they're only gonna fire one of us. Okay. So I don't even remember. So like, all right, my life can be a little chaotic. Okay.
a little, yeah.
All right, but
I've
you know,
seen
I
the
think
truck.
I think in order to survive in this business, you have to have a hobby.
Yeah,
Okay, so like, you know, I have a family. Okay, family's first and foremost.
yeah,
Okay, but like, there are other things I like besides football.
yeah.
Okay, does that make me weird? No, I think it's just who I am. You know, like movies and being entertained is, you know, part of who I am. So yeah, I think you're right.
You know what we should do? We should all go see the Batman together.
I want to go see it. Don't. Oh my god.
We should.
Yeah, this is a.
But-
I want to go see it because
Before we get into that, though, let's talk to these two guys about their favorite films.
Was this Batman?
Yeah, we're not. But no, we're going to talk. So Clint, we'll start with you before we go to Murph.
Well, I mean,
So what like we've characterized how we feel about film and where we kind of come from.
sure.
Go ahead.
So, are you talking about theater film or just film?
It doesn't matter.
Because there's a difference.
TV shows,
Because
movies, whatever.
I don't
you know,
really
it
go
doesn't
see
matter.
movies in the theater anymore.
doesn't matter.
I mean,
Whatever.
honestly, if it's not a superhero movie, I'm usually not there in the theater anyway. Now, I love a good comedy. You know, Tommy Boy's probably in my top 5 of any movie, comedy, or just movies in general. And I've got a list of movies that if it's on, I've got to stop and watch at least a little bit of it. Christmas Vacation,
it's a good, solid film.
Tommy Boy. Shut up.
I
That's what happens when you think.
love.
I hate you.
I think the
Sorry.
good like
Sorry.
and not trying to cut you off, Clint, but like
Oh, please do, because I got to think.
when you say what's your
Takes a lot.
favorite film, like I feel like
him
you
to
have
think.
to give a genre. Like
Right.
you know, if you're asking me what my favorite sports movie is, like I mean, I could go.
Well, don't think genre. Just think favorite film. You
Well,
know?
I mean, like, if
I
you've seen
can't do that,
hundreds
though.
and thousands of films over your course of your lifetime, then how is that even possible?
Yeah, I'm with you. You give me a genre, and I'll give you the favorite one.
All right.
What sport? Tell me a sports film. I think
My
what it is.
my favorite sports movie, and I think it's going to be a kind of a little shock. Okay, because not a
we
football-
know
it's
because
not
we've
a-
talked about it on
it's
the
not-
podcast before.
So I like
Yours.
it too. I think.
Go ahead.
One of my favorite
Go
ones.
You say it.
Best of Times.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Robin Williams, Kurt Russell, right there.
So for those
For
listening,
somebody who doesn't like Robin Williams.
yeah, he doesn't like.
They
Robin
hadn't
Williams.
watched it though.
You haven't
They
seen The Best of Times?
No, they haven't
You've
watched it.
told me to watch it.
It's a
and
great
like
movie.
with every
You haven't
movie
seen it.
recommendation you make, I ignore it.
Yeah, because you won't see
Wow.
Cruel Intentions.
Does it remind you a
It's
little
just-
bit
it's just
of?
a thing, I don't
Does it
know.
remind you a little bit of Asheville?
It
fan?
does. It does. It does. It does.
But it's
Except
good.
like I don't feel like the feel of the town.
Yeah.
Yes.
Small
it,
town.
Yes, it does. But like as far as the premise, like Bakersfield always beating Taft, but Taft had the 1 year when Taft could win the game, and then it was taken away from him because of something that we won't go into in case you want to
Yeah.
watch the movie. Okay.
Well, he's already spoiled it for me.
Okay, yeah. Well, just know he should have caught Jack Dundee should have caught the ball.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. But like I don't, because Asheville Springville was the big rivalry, and that was a kind of a back and forth rivalry for a long time.
So okay, favorite sports movie, Clint.
Ooh.
But I'll tell you what's a second.
The Replacements. I don't
That's
I
a-
know why.
love
That's
that
that's a
movie.
good movie. Now now a close first at that one is I love the movie Tin Cup,
Yes.
the golf movie
Yeah.
with Kevin
Ooh.
Costner and Renee Russo.
Yep.
Legend of Bagger Vance is
That's a good
golf
Legend
too.
of Bagger Vance is
It's
really
a good one, but like
shout
I
out to
just-
Will Smith.
I feel like the movie was kind of not. It was like it just had this. Will Smith did a great. Will Smith saved that movie.
Sure.
Yeah, he did.
Because
no
I don't
doubt.
care. I don't care what like, and I think Matt Damon is a great actor.
He's got a
But,
terrible
like he's not
Southern
a
accent.
believable Southern man.
Right.
No, he's not. He's
Okay.
from Boston.
Yeah.
Everybody knows it.
Go pack the kind Harvard yard.
That's pretty good. Khakis.
Hey, I'm not a big
Hokies.
baseball guy, but I like the movie 8 Men Out and then Field of Dreams.
That's a good
Watch
one.
8 Men Out first.
See,
then
my
Field of Dreams.
favorite sports movie
With
of all
Shoeless
time
Joe?
is of the sport that I probably I don't hate it the most out of all the sports that are played in the world, but it's up there. I really don't like baseball, but my favorite sports movie is Moneyball.
I
really
like
love
Moneyball.
Moneyball.
I've not seen it until like this past year.
I really,
And
really
like just
like that
the
movie.
analytics and the statistics. And
Well,
everything
just
goes with it. It's
story,
just
Okay, so
man.
let
The
me,
story
let me
behind
ask
it.
you this: would you consider that a? I know it's a movie about sports, and there are sports in that movie, but would you consider that a for real sports movie? To me, that's a docudrama.
Is that the Oakland A's?
It's
the
a
draft?
drama.
Is that what
It's
it
a
is?
dramatized version.
Okay, so are we going to now have to get into a dull argument about what's a sports movie and what's not a
No,
sports
but I'm
movie?
just saying, like when I
A
think
major
of
He's
sports,
got a good
when I
point.
think about sports
A
movies,
major
I don't think about Moneyball. It's a great movie. It is. A great
Okay,
movie.
okay, well then I'm going to make this argument. What's any sports movie about? Overcoming the odds, right? So is any sports movie...
Yeah,
But
A
it's
sports
centered.
movie?
It's centered around the baseball.
Calm down.
But you're attacking my sports movie!
Calm down.
You're attacking... It is a sports movie.
Okay, Nick. Okay.
See,
Days
this
of
is how
Days
this
of
is how,
Thunder.
look, like every time we get into a conversation about film, it results in me getting angry because he just has a completely wrong perspective. I can't even talk. Perspective on film.
Okay, Nick.
Go ahead.
Did you just whistle your S?
Perspective.
You know why? Because I'm going
Hey,
back
can
to,
we-
to what we were talking about before.
Can we get to
Gush
what-
chickens.
Can,
Sorry.
can we get to what we were going to
Swallow a
talk
whistle
about?
in your cracker
Well, we
jack.
got Tombstone.
I got a
Tombstone.
meeting I got to be at in like 45 minutes.
Tombstone's another one that I love to watch if it's on.
Tombstone's good.
Go.
Yeah, Tombstone. Out there. How about A Perfect Getaway? You ever seen that?
That is a good one.
Suspense. I,
Yeah,
I've been wanting
that
to
is a
watch
good
that
one.
lately. I hadn't
Good
watched
twist.
it in a long time.
Basics, another one with good twist, plot twist.
Oh, that
And
got me at the end. That Perfect Getaway.
Basic. You never seen
saw it
Basic?
coming.
I've never seen
Travolta,
Perfect.
Samuel?
Give it no.
Okay.
Neither one of those.
Perfect Getaway is really good.
Never seen that one.
Okay.
Never seen Basic.
I'm
Yeah,
going to go back
Basics.
and listen to podcasts just to.
Basic
just to
is
get a
really good.
list of stuff to
Samuel L.
watch.
Jackson, John Travolta. Okay. Tay Diggs is in it. It's got a really good supporting cast. Giovanni Ribisi's in it. It's really good. It's about military and some things that went down on a ops mission.
One that you just watched. Well, not just watched, but one that you've recently watched that we talked about, I think on the first episode of this season, the season premiere, Good Morning Vietnam. That's up there as one of my favorite movies of
Now,
all
the
time.
Vietnam movie I like is We Were Soldiers. I liked it.
That's
liked
a
it the
really
best.
great movie.
Because there's a guy from Steel that got killed on the third day of that battle.
Yeah.
That battle
Really?
of Idrang Valley. Yeah, finished stuttered.
Yeah, the Battle of Yadrang. You know, I met what's the journalist? That was with Hal Moore throughout all that.
Galloway.
Galloway. I
Yeah,
met him
Galloway.
before he passed. I met Galloway. Anyway, so one of my other favorite movies, and this is going to get into what we're going to end the episode with, The Dark Knight.
It's a great movie.
I think is one of the greatest movies of all time. Definitely the greatest superhero movie of all time. And we're going to talk about something that Murphree is, if you're watching this, doesn't want to talk about. And that is who the best Batman is.
And like we're gonna have to squeeze this into like.
Well, I mean, you can leave anytime you want to.
Well, I mean, look, you know.
Go ahead,
You
give your opinion.
You know my opinion on it, okay? And it's a staunch opinion. Okay.
Share it with the world.
Okay. My staunch opinion is this. All right. Michael Keaton is the best Batman. All right. It's okay to disagree with me, okay? But we need to understand this. Michael Keaton didn't get to play the same game that Christian Bale got to play. Okay? We're talking about two completely different time eras with two completely different film industries at the time. All right, Michael Keaton had to work within the
So you're already
constraints.
hedging against Michael Keaton.
No, I love Michael Keaton. I
No,
already
you're
told you.
already hedging against the fact that you think mine isn't Michael Keaton.
I know it's not Michael Keaton.
But the audience doesn't know that you know.
Okay, well, I know. All right. Me and Nick have spent a lot of time together, audience. So I know exactly where. I mean, I can see the legal pad sitting in front of me, and he's got literally his Batman's ranked. Okay. All right.
Hey, don't laugh. He
Now-
has his too. It's
now
not
I'll
written
now
down.
I'll say this: like 3 of the 8 Batmans he has written down, I don't acknowledge. Okay.
They're
I
not.
personally-
Okay, so never mind. Go ahead.
Okay, so look, anyway, I'm just going to leave it at this. Michael Keaton is my favorite Batman, okay? Doesn't have to be your favorite Batman.
Yeah, he established the role.
Exactly.
Right, I get that.
Okay, and Michael Keaton, now,
The same way a lot of people love Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
right.
You know, he established that
Right.
that whole
you know, and
character.
call me old school, but, you know, Michael Keaton will always be my Batman.
Okay.
Shout out Michael Keaton. Just
Now,
know
who's
I
the
did
best
it.
Batman? Let's go back to that.
Yeah, Michael Keaton.
Okay. Is it because he's your Batman, or is it because he's the best Batman?
Okay.
Or are
He's-
those two the same thing in your mind?
It's one and the same to me.
Because he's the only one that flew the bat plane, okay? That's all it needs to know.
Okay. Clint.
And Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman.
Clint.
Boy.
Go ahead.
Boy, howdy.
Clint.
Vicky Vale too now.
Well,
Well, Kim Basinger.
Kim Basinger. Yeah, you know she wasn't originally. Well, she was originally cast, and somebody else was cast. Anyway, go ahead.
The best Batman?
Yeah.
Adam West.
See, I don't even acknowledge him as a Batman.
That's the only one I know. is Adam
And I know
West.
that's blasphemous to say that you don't. I don't acknowledge him as Batman, but like he was the TV show Batman.
Yeah.
He wasn't the movie Batman.
I did that more to be funny.
To,
I
to
mean,
be safe.
No.
That's not a safe choice.
It's not a safe choice. That's kind of like.
The safe choice is who your favorite is.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Continue on.
Clint.
No, good.
No, seriously. Who's your who's your serious favorite?
Well,
Or who do you consider to
And
be
if
the
you
best
say
Batman?
George Clooney, I'll never talk to you again.
I was going to say Clooney's completely out, and so is Kilmer to me. I mean, bat nipples, really? Come on. Adam West, he was good during the time. Affleck was actually a pretty decent one, to
So
be
he doesn't
honest.
consider Affleck either.
I don't.
Well, I mean, he was a pretty decent Batman for what it was, but I mean, those movies were just god awful, though. I haven't seen the new one, so I can't say anything on that one. So I mean, I'm
Yeah, I haven't seen the Pattinson.
I'm really leaning toward either Michael Keaton or Christian Bale. I mean,
Okay, so here's
I ain't
my
trying
list.
to get on both,
All right.
but
And shout out to the Confused Breakfast podcast because I just listened to their episode on the Batman, the 1989 film with Michael Keaton, directed by Tim Burton.
See, now he's going to come out with all these great
yeah.
things that I had no clue existed.
Yeah, so
My favorite is the animated series Batman. There, I
the
said it.
best with Kevin, what's his name that voices it? What about Will Arnett? So the best Batman is Christian Bale, in my opinion.
Okay.
Number 2 is Robert Pattinson. Number 3 is Michael Keaton.
Such
Number
blasphemy.
4 is Val Kilmer, and in last place in
Is-
terms of film Batman is George Clooney.
Is Robert Pattinson the new guy?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you seen the movie?
It doesn't matter.
You can't pass judgment until
I
you've seen it.
can.
Because no.
This is
Nope.
America.
I
can do
was
whatever
I was in the exact same position until I
Okay.
saw the film. Man,
Hey, who was the Batman when Heath Ledger was on there?
Christian Bale.
Well, he's my favorite one then. Well, he's my second. he's
That
my
is
favorite.
something that I never thought he and I would agree on.
He's my second favorite. My favorite's Alabama Batman. You don't know about him?
Yes.
I met
Please.
him one time.
Did you really?
Wow.
Yeah, at
Please
Krispy
go in-
Kreme in Irondale.
Please go into detail
Well,
about.
go. You finish. and
No,
I'll tell you.
well, okay, no, we've got to go down that rabbit trail because there are people that have no idea who the Alabama Batman
Well,
is.
about
Please
Batman, he
explain.
had a Batmobile, and I met him and saw him at the Krispy Kreme in Irondale, which now Olive Garden is there, I think. But he was out there, he would ride around Birmingham and help people. If they needed gas or tire change or something like that.
He was your local. He was our local
Alabama Batman. And then
Hometown Batman.
he actually had
your
turntables in the
hometown
back of
Springfield.
his Batmobile.
Did he?
Like record player. I don't know if he. What do you call it?
DJ.
Scratch? Yeah, I don't know if he DJ'd any parties or anything. But they found him dead though. No, serious. They found him like in his house. Maybe.
So it's natural causes.
This is going on TikTok.
he's-
So
oh
hold on a
my
second.
god.
So hold on a second. It was natural causes.
What?
It wasn't
Either
like there's
that-
not an Alabama Joker running around, is there?
No.
Joker would never kill Batman.
That's Murphree. the
Well,
Alabama
it
Joker.
may have been carbon monoxide or he may have been natural causes. I don't
Was he
remember.
rich?
I don't know.
He had a Batmobile.
He passed away not too long after I got to meet him at the Krispy Kreme. How about Batman? He's my favorite. I'm Batman.
Was he in full regalia when you met
Yeah,
him?
yeah.
Did he have the voice? Did he have?
I don't remember all that, but he was. Yeah, he had a car and.
Real quick,
Suit and everything.
that's the reason I have an issue with Christian Bale.
Yeah.
Is because when he goes into Batman mode, he's and there's plenty of parodies out there talking about how you can't understand a thing he says when he goes Batman mode, but it's like.
Well, he's also, in like his defense, and now he is an actor. This is what he does for a living. But like, he's actually Welsh. So
Yeah.
he's not even American.
Right.
For having to distort your voice that much.
Right.
I met the guy that made him a motorcycle.
And they always
In
say,
Birmingham.
like actors
Bale?
always say,
Yeah.
actors always say like the hardest accent to do is a New York accent,
Yeah.
Well, that's why you don't
especially
do a
out
New
of
York accent.
especially out of country.
Yeah.
Let me just say that Colin Farrell's New York accent as the Penguin in this latest movie is
The
really,
penguins
really
in this
good.
movie? Thanks.
Yes.
He was in the trailer.
Yeah, but he's
I'm not
not
ruining
like
anything.
he's not
for
like the Danny DeVito penguin.
Well, that's the best penguin.
All right, like I think his name. I think his name in the movie is actually Oswald Cobblepot.
Oh, okay.
But like
In
people
this
call,
movie?
yeah. But people call
No.
him. Okay. everything I've read is like people call him Penguin and he hates it.
Right.
That's
I
what
think
I've
his
read.
name's Frank Oz in this movie.
Okay.
I think that's his
So
character's name.
they've distorted the name,
Yeah,
which is
think
another
because-
reason not to like the movie.
Because Oswald Cobblepot is a little on the nose. Let's see. Hey, how about that? Frank Oz is that? No, that's what I'm. Frank Oz is the voice of Yoda. That's
Wrong you were.
Samsonite. I was
wrong
way
you
off.
So, yeah.
Is
I don't know that.
Is his name Oswald Cobblepot?
All I know is that in the movie they call him Oz.
Which is short for Oswald.
Could potentially.
Is his last name Cobblepot?
I don't think they ever say because they either refer to him as the Penguin or they call him Oz.
Since you've already seen the movie, why don't you look at the Wikipedia page and
That's what I'm
under
doing
the cast
as we speak.
and let me know what his last name is.
I'm doing that as we speak.
Because if his
Matt-
last name's Cobblepot.
By the
Well,
way,
we all know it's Cobblepot, but whether they
Well, yeah.
actually call him Cobblepot or not, so that's going to be the thing. So,
it's
any other obscure
I completely
movies
forgot Andy
while,
Serkis was in
while
it.
we're doing this? Just throw one out there, just a guilty pleasure.
Oh, man. I'll tell you what, and this is not appropriate for children.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Clerks. You ever seen Clerks? All right. Black and white. Kevin Smith.
Yep.
Maxed out his
Fat
credit
Kevin Smith.
card.
No, it is Oswald Cobblepot. They just call him Oz.
Thank you. Stand
But
for it.
I
at least it's now. I know they changed the Riddler's name.
well,
His name is not Edward Enigma in the
well.
movie.
So to be fair though, in the comics they changed it too to what it is in the movie. Like
Edward Nash?
Edward Nashton,
Nashton.
and
He sounds like a used car dealership owner.
in the original first name was Edward Nigma.
Yeah.
Spelled Nigma.
Right. It's a play on.
Yeah, Enigma. But later on in the comics, in another iteration of the Riddler in the comics, they use the name Edward Nashton as well. So they're not being anyway. So recommendations, because I know you got to go.
Yeah. Recommendation is Single Wing.
Dang it!
Diet Mountain Dew, not a sponsor. And
You don't. I figured he'd come at us with a movie or a TV show.
oh, you want a movie?
It can,
Okay.
well, it can be
It can be
anything,
anything.
but knowing you and
Okay.
what we've talked about the whole episode.
I don't know if this is necessarily a recommendation as much as it is a hill I'm willing to die on. Okay. There is no way. Okay.
This is beef for TJ.
No,
This is about to
not
upset
Lawrence.
me.
All right. There's no way that Daniel Stern and Joe Pesci, who are the two robbers in Home Alone 1 and 2, survive either one of those movies after
You got a point.
taking all of the abuse they took from Macaulay Culkin.
You got a point.
Okay, there's no way. I'm willing to die on that hill.
Okay,
Okay, bad.
so where's the recommendation? In
The
that?
recommendation is you need to watch how many times they should have died in Home Alone 1 and 2.
Okay.
Tetanus being one of them.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Electrocution.
I mean, honestly, if you look at all those scenes,
infection.
okay, which one do you think was the worst?
Ooh.
I think in Home Alone, New York, the second one, the sequel,
Yeah.
when what's his name? Daniel Stern's character.
Yeah, Marv.
Marv. When Marv grabs the faucet.
Shout out to Trent Faulkner, who looks a lot like Marv.
Shout out to you.
Trent, we love you. Yeah,
he's getting married, and
Yeah.
he grabs it, and it goes
Yeah,
through the flash, and
And
it's
then it
like
shows
the
him as a skeleton.
and then it comes
You
back.
think that was the worst one?
He should have died, dude.
Okay, but like I'll tell you the one secretly I just brought this up because I wanted to tell you this. Okay. The one that makes me cringe the most, honestly, it's not him stepping on the nail, but in the first one, when he takes his shoes off and he steps through the window and he breaks all the
the
ornaments,
glass, yeah.
the glass ornaments with his feet, like that one just and then he steps on all the micro machines.
Yeah.
Are you too young for micro machines?
No, I know exactly what micro.
Okay.
I had some micro.
No,
machines.
seriously, like there's not a huge. I mean, there's an 8-year gap
Exactly,
in age
yeah.
between us, but like
We're
I had
technically
micro
both millennials.
Yes.
You and I
Yes.
think you are too.
I'm an old
Yeah.
soul though.
You're on the upper. You're on like the front side, and
Right.
I'm in like the rear guard.
Right.
I think I'm like one of the last.
See, I remember the Ninja Turtles.
I do too. Are you talking about the cartoon or the
No,
movie?
no, the movie.
All of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
All of it.
well-
Secret of the Ooze, shout out to you because you were better than number one.
Oh snap!
I'll die on that hill too.
Oh snap! we
way.
better move on
No way.
before
We will have
Clint
this conversation.
has fisticuffs. All right, Clint, what's your recommendation?
Real quick, have you seen Home Team with?
Not yet. I haven't seen it
Okay,
yet.
because there's big to do with the single wing and everything. Everything about that movie's not right. Like they took creative liberties.
Yeah.
So, my recommendation is going to be a show on a little mini series, if you will, on Peacock called Joe versus Carol. So it's the movie version of the Tiger King. Holy crap! Like the documentary does a good job of going into whatever. So I've been told. I've not watched it, but I watched every episode of this, and it's like holy crap! Like there's no way this really happened. And yeah, it did.
The documentary's really good.
But this show is really
fun.
good. It's got some language. It's got some questionable things going on in the movie itself. But
Great recommendation, man. What's it
the
called
name of it again?
Joe versus Carol.
Yeah.
All right, mine is going to Be My Lover, the 1995 hit by LaBouche. Anyway. Be my lover. Anyway, go ahead.
Hey, we don't have to talk about this, but Doctor Strangelove, y'all seen that?
Yes.
You ever seen that?
Yes.
And that movie Greater about the office
Yes.
lineman, that was a good one.
Yeah, Burlsworth.
Brandon Burlsworth.
Brandon
Yeah,
Burlsworth.
hey, can I just mention that Cholula won the hot sauce?
Yes.
Where's the? Do you
contest.
have the? No, have we mailed that off to Cholula?
No, not yet.
So we've printed a
Because it
certificate.
hasn't been on yet. They might want to see the episode,
Well, it will go.
They'll see
See,
that.
dude.
See ya.
So it will be on by the time this airs.
Yes.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
that episode will air before this one does.
Yeah,
but
but
it hasn't
it-
aired right now.
No, not yet. But it was overall winner of all of them. And
Yeah.
and we weren't even going to have it that day. We had to go get it, Piggly Wiggly.
You and I went
Yeah.
to the Pig. That's the first time you and I have ever been anywhere together other than this campus. Did you know that?
No, I didn't realize that.
Our first date was to the Pig.
Date.
But it was
We
in
went
the
to the
top
Pig.
5. Cholula was
Yeah.
and we didn't have it, so we had to go get it. And then it won the whole deal.
It was really good. I mean, like when I said in the episode that I would have it on a wing, and y'all were like, "Well, it's not a wing sauce," and I said, "I agree with you, but to me, it was really good on a wing."
Well, they make. I've looked it up, done some research. They make a wing sauce.
Do they
Cholula
really?
does, yeah.
So real quick, now
You've
that
done research?
we're not pressed for time
Yeah.
because Shay's gone now. Thanks by the way, Shay. Thank you for coming on. That was really
Sorry to
great.
Clint, who didn't know he was going to be on today.
Yeah, I had no idea. That's the second time you've done that too. We got to talk after this
We'll
episode.
probably do it again.
So this past week, rice. It's an inside joke with me and Carrie. Rice. Get some rice, Carrie. Carrie come in. She didn't feel good. Didn't want to cook anything, so I cooked something. Looked for rice. We didn't have rice. That's the inside joke. I told her to go buy some rice like 18 times. So I found some hamburger helper. You know, great old hamburger helper. Makes a great meal, right? So it had cheeseburger mac and cheese or whatever it is. Cheeseburger mac. So I got a thing of it, and I only had one. So I just got some regular mac and cheese. Well, I made them both per the package, then mixed them all together. Well, here's the part that comes into this. I took three really good splashes of good old American Tabasco sauce and put in there, and everybody in the house is talking about how hot it was.
3, that's it?
3 in a big
What did the bottle
What?
say on the bottom?
25.
Okay.
But it was 3. And then Caitlin talked about how hot it was. May said it was pretty hot. Carrie completely avoided it because everybody said it was hot. I actually added more to mine, but it was really good.
By the way, no offense to Tom Lamb, I researched that there's actually another reason for those numbers on the bottom of the bottle. And it has to do with the bottling system itself and not the heat of. So I don't know which one's true. I'm not saying Tom and his source are wrong. I'm
Right.
just saying there's an alternative explanation to the numbering system on the
so
bottom
what's
of the bottles.
that one?
To basically to keep track of which batch is being bottled and
Okay.
for recall purposes.
Like lot numbers. Almost.
Exactly,
Okay.
basically. Yeah,
so
yeah. And it's 1 through 40.
I was gonna say that was the next thing because he said 1 through 99 because
Yeah.
you know this episode actually aired this week, so I listened to it. You know, like I always do with our episodes, but
You just like listening to
I
yourself.
do. Yeah, because I'm a narcissistic pig.
Was that funny?
I didn't think it was that.
Aaron
funny.
laughed. I don't know.
Whatever. But he said 1 through 99, but it is 1 through 40.
Well, that's what the multiple sources that I looked at on the internet, which is all knowing and all truthful, said.
Because the internet's never wrong.
Exactly. That's
I
why
gotcha.
I don't want to I don't want to completely say that Tom and his source is wrong.
Hey, Aaron.
But yeah.
Do you know what mic this is?
Yeah.
Can you kill it just in case?
Uh,
I don't want it to sound bad.
Well, what if he accidentally kills one of ours?
Yeah. Okay. Don't worry about it. I got it.
No, I got it.
Okay.
I hope he didn't kill one of us. We have faith in you.
Little, but we can call it faith.
So, back to yes.
WrestleMania. WrestleMania's around the corner. It's probably already happened by the time this podcast comes
Yeah, I
out.
think it will.
But as of right now, the rumor is Stone Cold Steve Austin is going to be at WrestleMania.
I really enjoy Stone Cold Steve Austin's presence in things. I really do. Redneck Island. Shout out to that.
He's been really good in a lot of stuff. Like, some of the Tide commercial. He's on there with a couple of other people, and they're talking about, you should get Tide, blah, blah, blah. Like, he's actually been fairly marketable.
Yeah, I've seen him wrestle
And
in Birmingham.
and his podcast, which is affiliated with the WWE Network, is a really good listen if you're into wrestling stuff.
Maybe we could have him on one day.
Ooh.
Wouldn't that be fun to have Stone Cold on? We've got a connection with him. Deuce.
Yeah, I don't know if it's that big of a connection, but we can try it. I mean, what's the worst he can say?
Supposedly
No?
they still keep up with one another, so I don't know.
Well, I'll reach out, I guess.
So,
That would be neat.
your recommendation?
Well, can I mention one more movie I like?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Fugitive.
Good
I
movie.
like it.
That is a good movie.
Tommy Lee Jones
Tommy
Yeah,
Lee
he's in there,
Jones
and Harrison Ford.
and Harrison
But
Ford.
did y'all know they made a spoof off The Fugitive that I like too? It's called Wrongfully Accused. It's got Leslie Nielsen in it.
I love
Did y'all
Leslie
know
Nielsen,
that?
the Naked
I did
Gun.
not know that.
It's
Airplane.
pretty funny. Yeah, it's a spoof on The Fugitive. It's
Huh.
called Wrongfully Accused. It's real funny.
Did not know that.
I like those.
Was Leslie Nielsen not Canadian?
I don't know.
I think he was.
He was
Canadian.
funny wherever he's from. All right, can you do a recommendation?
Yes.
Good
All
luck. We're
right,
counting on you. We're all counting on you.
All right, since we did movies, I want to do this country band. It's new country group called Runaway June. It's all females, and one of the girls that's in that band is John Wayne's granddaughter.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I like them pretty good. They're a new band. I like them all right. I don't really like a lot of the new stuff. But
Yeah. What do they sing? Is this one of the? You've tended on the modern music to trend towards the folk American folk kind of a subgenre of country music. Is that another example of that, or is this like redneck trash country? Like what kind
well,
of
the
subgenre?
first song I ever heard them sing was they found a lot of stuff that Johnny Cash had wrote. Like after he died, they found a lot of poems and songs that he
there's a
had wrote.
ton of that stuff too.
So they did one of his songs that he wrote. It was pretty good.
Oh, wow. Hey, we mentioned it. Have you heard "Hurt" yet?
Yeah. See, when we first talked about that,
Yeah.
I thought y'all were talking about an artist named Hurt.
No.
No.
But y'all were talking
Johnny
about the
Cash.
song.
The
Yeah, I
song.
know the song.
Okay.
Yeah,
I hurt myself. Yeah. It's really good.
yeah I'd heard
Really
it
good.
before.
Aaron, are you
That song.
okay? What's your recommendation?
Are we still doing this? Is this still a thing? Are we going to really include him?
Well, we can't go back now.
Thanks, Clint.
Okay.
Thank you. I like Dr. Squatch soap. It's really
I
all
will
get.
say they've got some of the best commercials out there. They are
They do.
hilarious. And I don't know if those guys are actually affiliated with Dr. Squatch, but those guys
Probably.
do a lot of different commercials. What?
Not a sponsor.
Yeah, not a
Not a
sponsor.
sponsor.
And there's this horror movie that came out in 2019.
You
It's
get
really
one,
good.
Aaron. You get one.
It's called Possum.
Okay, yeah, you get one.
It's good.
You get one.
Also,
Please
the
watch
nickname of one George Jones.
We love you, Aaron. Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He hates doing the show. He hates doing the show, don't you?
No comment.
He started to say something. He's like, I'm gonna play it safe.
Yeah.
So, but no. And another thing too, I've seen the Batman 1.5 times already. I'm probably gonna see it another 1 to 2 times before it gets out of theaters.
Well,
I recommend that as well. It's really good.
as of today, as of this moment on Wednesday when we're recording this, Hammy and I are going to go Saturday to watch. Me, Hammy, and Maze are probably going to go Saturday and watch it. Just, get out of the house. It's going to be cold. It's going to be yuck. So,
Just go see it.
just go see it.
Yeah, that'll be good. Shout out to the Ham and Spam Retro Review.
Thank you. You want to go with us, Murph?
Mm-mm.
No?
Spider-Man.
Batman.
Batman.
Oh, Batman. No,
No.
You would enjoy it.
not going.
Why? Why won't you
Well,
give it a chance?
I can't go. I got plans Saturday.
Oh, okay.
What are you doing?
I can't tell you.
Oh,
I'll tell you later.
is it a secret?
Yeah, it's top secret.
Oh, like You gotta hide it from your wife.
It's going to be. You can go ahead and tell us. Because this is going to be aired,
Well, that's true.
way long. I mean, you're talking about this Saturday.
This ain't going to come out for another 6 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm planning on going somewhere, but it's supposed to snow Saturday.
Well,
It's supposed
yeah,
to get super cold.
light dusting, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
I've not heard that.
Well, according to ABC 3340 Chief Meteorologist James Spann, who's a local hero of ours, it's supposed to have. We're supposed to have. We're supposed.
Not a sponsor.
We're supposed to have a light dusting.
Okay.
I'm planning on going north. But
I know where you're
it's
going.
Gonna-
I know where you're
it's
going.
It's going to snow. It's
Yeah, I
gonna,
know-
so I don't know what to plan.
I know where
yet.
you're
I
going.
don't know.
Sticky fingers.
Yeah, going to Sticky Fingers.
Sticky fingers.
Not.com.
Sticky fingers.
So I don't know if I'm going
restaurant.
anywhere or not.
Well, not a sponsor. So,
Chattanooga, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sticky
are you
Fingers.
going to Chattanooga?
I'm going north.
No. Okay. I think I know where he's going. Because we've got. Are you coming Friday? Or are you taking Friday off?
I don't know.
We've got an e-learning day Friday.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay. All right. So he's not even
That's
going to tell us that.
Last
Nope.
minute.
Last minute.
Nah, those are the
fine.
best ones.
So Christian Bale is the best Batman. If you have any comments about that, come and hit us up on social media, Twitter.
I
to
think
Facebook.
Robert Pattinson is going to be my new favorite Batman.
I have a feeling it'll be
personally.
your generation's favorite Batman.
I
no doubt.
think. I mean, I've always liked Michael Keaton.
Let's see if there's going to be a second movie. Because to me,
There is.
that really
that
there is.
Yeah.
Well, he's
With him as Batman.
Matt Reeves. Well, see, I don't know. Matt Reeves, the director and writer, has already said that he's got basically the outline and the story of a sequel, and they're already kind of looking at a sequel. But Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson did not have a good working relationship on this movie, so
well, that's
it's
why
kinda
I
up
didn't
in
think it
the
was going to
air.
get made.
Yeah, because there were a lot of people thought it wasn't going to get made.
I didn't think it was going to get
because
made.
that's how much they didn't like each other. Supposedly, I don't know.
So-
I wasn't on set. I don't really know, but
Who all technically has had a one and done Batman?
Val Kilmer,
Kilmer, Clooney,
Clooney,
and
and as of right now, Robert Pattinson. But that might change.
Affleck. But would you consider the Justice League 2 or 3 movie, Batman versus Superman and Justice League?
But those were technically 2 movies, right?
I'll just say that Batman versus Superman was one of the most disappointing movies that has ever been made.
You are not lying, sir.
Yeah, it was.
I wanted that movie
We
to be
all did.
the
We
greatest
all did.
superhero
No, the
movie
Lone Ranger movie was
ever
worth it.
made.
Johnny
the
Depp,
new one?
and Army. No, was it Army Hammer? Army Hammer and Johnny Depp.
Yeah,
think,
Johnny
yeah.
Depp was it. Are you going to see Batman?
The
Saturday?
Batman.
Where are you going to see it at?
Probably Gadsden.
Gadsden's my theater. That's
Yeah, I
the
mean it's
one
kind of
like.
the home one,
Theater,
but I
whatever.
like going to Pell City.
Yeah,
too.
they got the
always-
recliners over in Pell
They got
City.
Yeah,
the
but
recliners.
it's always packed, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, my kid threw up in there
By the way,
in the Pell City.
yeah,
But who's
ahead.
playing Batman in this one? You're
Robert
going to see?
Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson.
Okay.
Tell
So-
him what he's famous for. Because this is
now, actually, more recently, he's famous for the film The Lighthouse with Willem Dafoe that they were nominated for multiple Oscars for.
That one's
But
really
he
good.
got
Not worried
his,
about it. Keep
he-
going.
He got his start playing Cedric Diggory in Harry Potter, and then after that, his next biggest role was Edward Cullen in the Twilight series.
You
He
can
did-
talk.
He didn't invent. Look. I'm going to defend Robert Pattinson here. He didn't invent the character. He just played a role. Okay. He didn't direct the movie. He just played a role.
Everybody
right?
has like their one bad role.
And I'm not going to define an actor by one character that they played,
I'll give
unless
you.
it's Adam Sandler, because he plays the same guy in every movie.
Do you not like any of the Adam Sandler movies?
I love and hate
early-
multiple of his movies. I love The Waterboy. I love Mr. Deeds. I love.
Now, Mr. Deeds was a remake, was it not?
I don't know.
That
But I
wasn't
love
the
that movie
original.
regardless.
He was in
Okay.
50 First Dates.
I love
He
50
was.
First Dates. I love
Happy Gilmore.
the Longest Yard. I love Happy Gilmore. But there's some of his movies. It's just like, oof.
Was Jack and Jill one of those?
Jack and
movies
Jill
that's
is at the
horrible?
top of my list of
What-
movies I hate with both Al Pacino and
What's the,
Adam Sandler.
What's the one with the remote click?
Yeah,
Click,
that's
did not
Click.
like Click.
Jack and Jill is terrible.
Grown Ups.
I like Grown Ups, yeah.
Okay.
I like Grown Ups. You can't do wrong with a comedy ensemble like that.
Man, I tell you what, he hosted Saturday Night Live recently. I say recent, last couple of years, and he come out and he had a whole song with his guitar and everything, and mentioned Chris Farley. Man, I got a little misty eyed on that one. Just where he's talking about, he should be on the cast of Grown Ups 3. That's how much he missed him and everything.
They were
best of friends.
They were office mates, I think. Weren't
Yeah.
they writing partners and office mates
I think so.
at SNL? Yeah.
Sloppy Joe, Sloppy Joe, yeah.
He said when like writing that song, he couldn't get through practice, going over it because it just made him so emotional.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like he did it
Wow.
like 8 times or whatever, and he couldn't get through it. And that was like one of the few times he was actually able to do it.
I can imagine, man. I can imagine.
Well, gentlemen, we've gone over. I feel like this episode's been so haphazard.
What do you
So,
mean?
I feel like we've been all over the place and we haven't really dived into any single thing really well. But I guess that's the nature of the show.
Well, it's kind of the nature of the show. Exactly. We don't plan it out or tell you who's coming on. But I thought it was a good episode. I mean, I enjoy Shea coming on. Got to know a little bit more about him and et cetera.
etc. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what else we talked
Well, we've already talked, so guess what? We're about to go home.
Go home.
Go
Yeah.
home
So don't forget anything else we mentioned.
and no, go ahead.
What kind of outro are we gonna do on this? That where you're gonna do something funny and we're gonna laugh.
I don't know.
All right. Well, I
We
guess
didn't
we'll
even
find
talk
out.
about Smoking the Bandit.
He's got a point.
Or Sergeant
Well,
York.
somebody referenced Buford
Valley of the
Justice.
Three Forks Palm.
Somebody,
All right, talk and go home. It was
Some
all
Okinawa?
subtitles.
Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
I don't know if
What
he
sound did he
hiccuped
just
or
make?
burped.